Today, we are interviewing local author Becky Andersen. Thank you so much for being here with us today. I'm just going to ask you a couple questions.
All right.
Can you tell me a little bit about you and your book?
Uh-huh. I am a native-born Iowan. Had was working at a college, Simpson College in Indianola, Iowa. I used to live for a time in Burlington. My dad was transferred a lot when we were growing up, and so anyway, I do know how to pronounce correctly Crapo Park, and so and but I've always enjoyed writing and reading, and the opportunity came in a way I never expected it to. But I had been married for 37 years. I married my high school sweetheart, and we have two daughters. And about, well, gosh, it'll be 11 years ago this coming February, he dropped dead of a heart attack. And so totally unexpected. My oldest daughter was married to the Danish foreign exchange student that she met at Indianola High School. And they've been married for about 13 years, and they do live in Denmark now. Then she put me on Match.com before they moved back from the US to Denmark. So I have a book now. We're not 16 anymore, and it is because of that episode where she put me on Match.com. I hadn't dated for 40 years, and it's kind of the trials and tribulations of somebody that's, well, most of you don't know, but Stephanie just had to take me by the hand and walk me through how to Zoom. So you can imagine trying to get on a dating site. So anyway, I had put my little escapades, or each date, I put a little snippet on Facebook. And I gathered a lot of remarks from people. And so when I was all through dating and had fallen in love, which I had not planned on doing. This was supposed to be just a time for me to find a companion who could probably empty the mousetrap once my girls were gone, because I don't do things like that. But anyway, I did not know that there could be love after death. And I did find it, and my husband, Dave Andersen, and I have been happily married for a whole 6.5 years now. And anyway, we're not 16 anymore is from when my daughter Brooke started to put me on Match.com. She helped me fill out all the forms and everything electronically. And it's the very different many people that I met in a short period of time. And gonna kind of leave it at that. And it's gotten some good reviews on Amazon, and it's kind of a laugh out loud, easy read book. So I am glad that people enjoy it. So, is there anything else you'd like to know about it, or?
I'm excited. It sounds really great. I'm going to have to pick it up.
Oh, thanks.
Did you use the library in any part of your writing process?
I did not for this book. It was more of, well, as I said, I worked at Simpson College and had just retired from there after, or right before we got married. And so I was familiar with different publishers that some of the professors had used. And my manuscript was accepted for publication. And I did just a couple of years ago, I wrote a second book, and it's totally different from, We're Not 16 Anymore is nonfiction. And I've got The Widsters is more, it's a fictional, and you might recognize this little place there. It took me 67 years of my life to actually go to Eldon, Iowa. I did not know that was even there, and I'm so ashamed of that. But it's a book about two widowed sisters, hence Widsters, and they're bickering sisters, but they love each other. And they are still hurting from the deaths of their husbands. So it was very cathartic for me to write, but it was a lot of exaggeration, but it was also really good excuse to take a couple girlfriends, and we drove all around Southeast Iowa. And I was not that familiar with a lot of the little places we went. So it's, I, I haven't gotten too many reviews on it, but the ones that I've gotten are really good, and people are excited to um, go to Southeast Iowa. And I know of about 3 different groups of people who have gone and followed the bus route that these Woodsters take on their journey to find a new normal. So, and so I did go to the library and, you know, looked up different places to make sure I had things right. Again, the whole process of writing a book has been educational. So, like I said, I've loved to read my whole life, but I never once thought of how an idea in somebody's head, the process that it takes to get on the library bookshelves. So it's been educational, and We're Not 16 Anymore has just been released for retail in audiobook form. So that was another experience, and I had to interview vocals. I never saw the people, but I had to listen to people reading like part of a chapter of my book, and so I went through 10 people, and the lady that I just loved her voice, and she's a songwriter in Nashville. She used to write for Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash. I forget the other. I'm not a country western fan, but anyway, I was impressed. And she's also written a book, and she's also appeared in a couple of movies in Hollywood. So it was kind of fun to do that. And I don't know if anybody that sees this will recognize the name of Cloris Leachman, but she does have a copy of We're Not 16 Anymore. So that thrilled me because she's, you know, an award winner. And if anybody's seen a couple of the Mel Brooks movies, she's Young Frankenstein. She was in that. And so that, I got to give her a hug when I gave her the book. So that was kind of a thrill, but it's just been fun to meet people and talk about the books and stuff. So
that's what I'm getting from this, is getting to meet authors and learning all about you guys, and I love it.
oh, that's wonderful. Well, I'm glad for the opportunity to meet you too.
So where can our patrons get your books?
Well, I'm a big proponent of indie bookstores. So they may have to order it, but they can get it for you. Amazon, really any of your favorite booksellers would have it. It's on Kindle and Nook, and as I said, it's going to be released very soon on audiobook. But if it's okay, I'll just give, if anybody needs to find out where my website is, www, all one word, Becky Andersen, and that's SEN, and .com. And I've got a little novella on my website that if anybody does enjoy We're Not 16 Anymore, the novella is The Year of the Wedding. And I like to tell people I'm not sure I'm legally married because the minister left and then came back as Elvis. And I had young relatives at our wedding. We had almost 350 people there because we're older people, so we've had a lifetime of friends and bigger families and stuff like that. So anyway, the young people had no idea who he was supposed to be, but I have promised to take Dave as my hunka hunka burnin' love. So I don't know if that is really legal or not, but it is. So anyway, but we've had a lot of laughs and stuff. So, but anyway, The Year of the Wedding is all about from the time I surprised my daughters who had put me on Match.com with the fact that I was going to get married, and they were horrified. Anyway, and they love him to death, so they do. So anyway, it's on. So, but that's, just I would encourage anybody, read all sorts of things and write things down. And if I can write a book, probably anybody can. And it's a great way to just put your thoughts on paper, and especially during this COVID. I bet there's some people might think it's awfully boring, or they're going out of their minds or something, but I bet there are a lot of thoughts that people have, and a lot of stories on. I'm fascinated, especially like Halloween. I'm fascinated by how people were able to continue doing something that they love doing and come up with such unique, safe ways to go on with life. So I wish everybody well, and but it is also a very good time to curl up with a book, and especially with this winter coming, patronize your library, because there's always something new and exciting, and don't forget the old classics either. They're amazing. So, but anyway, I think that's, if you've got any other questions.
I think that's it. Thank you so much for joining us today and telling us all about your works.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. I really appreciate this.